Dr. Pamela Edington, you have the most important privilege and responsibility of leading the State University of New York's Dutchess Community College, founded in 1957, to the fulfillment of its great promise as one of the premier community colleges in the state of New York. As Chief Executive Officer, you are assigned all powers, duties, and responsibilities appropriate to the post. The Board of Trustees, the Chancellor, and I are confident that under your leadership, this institution, pursuing the highest traditions of teaching, scholarship, and public service, will continue its dedication to the great state of New York, to the nation, and to the world. By virtue of the authority vested in me on behalf of the Chancellor of the Board of Trustees of the State University of New York, I now present to you, friends of the college, the fifth President of the State University of New York, Dutchess Community College, Dr. Pam Edington. All right, can we do the...
Congratulations. Good luck.
Thank you so much. Okay. They very cleverly hid a cup of water for me in a Dutchess mug, tissues. Before I actually start my remarks, I have to say, since I've been here, and I've been on the job for almost 10 months now, and and everything was going really well, and people will keep referring to this honeymoon phase that I'm in. They sort of like, well, you're in the honeymoon, right? But then today, as I was talking to people before the ceremony, people were saying, well, this is really like a wedding, you had all these people and everything. So I got thinking, honeymoon, wedding, so courtship is next. So I'm available for dates. That's it. It's the best part. I have a pretty vivid imagination, but I could never have imagined anything more meaningful, beautiful, and fulfilling than this moment. To hear all of these people say things about me, really is very humbling. I hate to follow every one of them, and to follow them as a group, including our wonderful musicians, is really more than I can bear. This is a fabulous moment. In a couple of weeks, when we graduate 1,000 students from Dutchess Community College, it'll be even better. So as far as I'm concerned, this is really the pre-party. All right. I'd like to begin by extending my thanks to the Platform Party, SUNY Board Chair McCall, Vice Chancellor Duncan Portier, DC Board Chair, the best board chair in the state of New York, Tom LeGrand, the entire Board of Trustees, and those representing our faculty, staff, students, our foundation, the county, community, friends, and my family. And special thanks to our student musicians for sharing their talents with us. You guys rock. You're really fabulous. And to the Inauguration Committee, chaired by Barbara Hugo and Carol Gordon, your careful attention to detail, creativity, and kindness was exceptional. And of course, I'm grateful to every one of you for taking the time to be with us today. Until this moment in time, I thought there was only one circumstance in which you saw your life pass before your eyes, okay? Now I know there's two, near death and inauguration. And I hope I'm right about that, because otherwise, I think the chair of our nursing program is here. She better check my blood pressure. Because from my vantage point, I'm seeing my early life, and I'm glad you're kind of in the dark, because if I could actually see my brothers and sisters clearly, I would need those tissues. I'm seeing my early life in the form of all 6 of my brothers and sisters, Gary, Carlotta, Linda, Dr. Linda, who preceded me in our family, and Jeff, Mary, and Peter, who succeeded me in our family. I am most definitely a middle child. My siblings have come from Wyoming, Minnesota, Maryland, and Florida. And truthfully, it's my siblings who know best how far I have come in order to stand here today. That's why we didn't ask them to speak. And I trust they won't feel compelled to share family secrets in the reception afterwards. I can only imagine how proud our parents, Peter and Rose Edington, who have both passed away, would be to know that I made something of myself. Our father had only an 8th grade education, but he would say that he earned advanced degrees from the University of Hard Work. We learned our work ethic as children from Dad. Our mother, Our mother, who had a high school diploma when she married Dad, eventually entered college as an adult and ultimately earned a master's degree. We learned from her never to let go of our dreams. Both Mom and Dad would be thrilled that all 7 of their children have had success on their own terms and that we are able to share the joy of this occasion with each other. And then there's the family of my own making. My husband, Bill, who has been the single most influential person in my life for 34 years. And our daughters, Claire and Billy, both are accomplished and kind young women who are on a trajectory to undoubtedly and rightfully surpass their parents' accomplishments. The 3 of them are simply the loves of my life. I'm also looking at dear, dear friends and colleagues from my previous college experiences in Massachusetts and Connecticut. I'm grateful to every one of you for making the trip to mark this important occasion with me. I owe all of you and so many more past colleagues a debt of gratitude for helping me to become a better educator, a better leader, and a better person. Your collaboration, your inspirations, patience, exceptionally good work, and unfailing support helped put me in this position today. And then there are my newest colleagues, faculty, staff, students, trustees, peers, and community members who have embraced my family and me, and pets and all, to Dutchess County with generosity and tremendous kindness. And I also want to personally recognize the other college presidents who have welcomed me into their circle. I am delighted to be in your company. Since coming to Poughkeepsie, I was quoted in a local paper as saying, "No one does it alone." Now you've heard and can see what I mean. Thank you all so very much for what you have done and are doing to support me. That was part 1. The inauguration of a college president is a singular opportunity to reflect on both the history and the future of an institution. I recognize the privilege I have been accorded with the opportunity to be the 5th, and wait for it, the first female president to lead Dutchess Community College, and never tire of that. And I trust there are many other firsts to come as president of Dutchess Community College. But I'm following in the footsteps of 4 accomplished presidents: James Hall, John Connolly, Jerry Lee, and D. David Conklin. Each of them has left a lasting legacy in the form of programs established, buildings erected, partnerships advanced, and resources developed. I think more importantly, though, it is the people who are hired during an administration that best represent a president's legacy. I have met scores of the faculty and staff, retired and current, who were hired by my predecessors and who have unselfishly dedicated the majority of their lives to this institution. I have a solid foundation upon which to build and a high bar to reach. It's hard not to slip into hyperbole in describing the impact Dutchess Community College has had on individual lives and this community as a whole. To date, more than 43,000 degrees have been granted, and more than 172,000 individuals have earned credits here. When you consider the additional hundreds of thousands who have participated in community service offerings, events, and activities, it's the rare household in this area that has not had direct interaction with our college. Graduates of Dutchess have gone on to become artists, social activists, architects, educators, lawyers, judges, nurses, engineers, entrepreneurs, CEOs, teachers, community volunteers, civil servants, and county executives. Even a fighter pilot, I found out recently, who got his start in our aviation program. There also are police officers and firefighters. And at this time, I'd like us to take a moment to remember Timothy Gunther, a heroic firefighter and former DCC student and SUNY New Paltz graduate, who died Monday while battling a fatal fire in the city of Poughkeepsie. On our distinguished alumni wall of fame downstairs are outstanding examples of the talent that has been identified and cultivated at Dutchess Community College over the years. You know them because of their extensive community involvement, and many of them are here with us today. Could I please ask that all Dutchess Community College alumni please stand? Look at that. More than half of our graduates choose to remain in the Mid-Hudson Valley to live, work, play, and worship. They establish families, raise children, pay taxes, and invest in our community. Imagine how life in Dutchess County would be different had there not been forward-thinking leaders who advocated for the development of a local community college. Significantly fewer people would have been able to pursue a higher education. Those who did go on to college would have paid more and had more debt. There would be fewer businesses, less civic participation, less social mobility, less hope, and fewer dreams fulfilled. Community colleges are invaluable assets that transform the lives of individuals and of entire communities, and I am so proud to work at a community college. The public financial investment in Dutchess Community College is repaid in multiples by the engaged citizenship and economic productivity of our students, alumni, and workforce. Community colleges are an exceptional investment, worthy of tax dollars, private philanthropy, and all manner of individual and community support. We are public institutions. We are of the people. We are by the people. We are for the people. And I am also incredibly proud to lead an institution that is part of the State University of New York. As you heard, we are the largest comprehensive public higher education in the country. Under the leadership of Chancellor Zimpher and the SUNY board, the power of our 64 campus system is being leveraged to drive economic growth in New York State. Individually and collectively, our SUNY institutions have a profound and positive impact on the communities we serve. Since coming to Dutchess County and getting to know more about its rich history, I've taken to quoting Hudson Valley notables. Given that the Roosevelts were a family of local importance with lasting impact on the nation and the world, I often hearken back to their ideas and words to guide me. As Kathleen Durham from Valkill knows, I mostly look to Eleanor Roosevelt for inspiration. And one of the things that Eleanor said that I've quoted is, do something every day that scares you. Well, Eleanor, this is it. Actually, today I have a quote from the other Roosevelt. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt once said, "I do not look upon these United States as a finished product. We are still in the making." His words seem just as applicable to Dutchess Community College, so now I would like to suggest what's in the making here. In refreshing the college's vision, mission, values, and goals, our campus community recently identified 5 essential core values that will guide our decision-making going forward. Those values are excellence, access, diversity, collaboration, and accountability. We value excellence because whether a student attends Dutchess Community College as a foundation for additional education, or seeks it out as a pathway for career preparation, or looks to it as a source of ongoing enrichment, ensuring that all students receive an education that contributes to their personal and professional growth remains the litmus test of our success. While the role of president is an important one, I am reminded on a daily basis by our students that it is the faculty and staff who are key to sustaining academic excellence and student success. Just want to give you an example of the kind of dedicated faculty we have. Tomorrow, one of our faculty will travel to a neighboring state at the invitation of a former student who is graduating with his MBA. That they've stayed in touch for 10 years and that he's getting his master's are impressive. But what's truly remarkable is that this student walked here every day from his home in the city of Poughkeepsie, did his homework on the bus, and managed to excel with very few resources. This motivated young man found at DCC, as so many other students do, a caring, committed family that provided an outstanding academic foundation, encouragement, and sometimes even food. He exemplifies the struggles that many of our students face and the successes that can and do happen in our transformative environment thanks to our caring and dedicated faculty and staff. Yeah. Our students are accomplishing things they never thought possible. You may have seen last Sunday's Poughkeepsie Journal, in which we featured students who recently won national recognition in the areas of art, theater, leadership, and science. They're high achievers for sure, but we know that our faculty was instrumental in their success. So now I would like all of our faculty and staff who are here in the audience with us today, please stand so that we can recognize your contribution. Thank you. This is why we recruit educators who have a passion for the community college mission, and why we need to ensure they are compensated for their education, experience, and good work, and that we also support their continuous professional growth and renewal. How about you like that? Providing access to post-secondary education has always been fundamental to the community college mission. By providing an open door to higher education, we enable and encourage anyone of any age or background to pursue an education beyond high school. Dutchess Community College enrolls an impressive 38% of the county's college-bound high school graduates. It might seem like our students and alumni are everywhere, well, just because they are. More of our county students attend Dutchess Community College than any other single educational institution anywhere. We are committed to keeping the college affordable through modest tuition and fee increases, comprehensive financial aid and financial literacy programs, along with privately funded scholarships and grants. Earlier this week, one of the college's major benefactors, Charlie Conklin, presented the DCC Foundation with a gift of $800,000 in memory of his late wife, Betty. The Conklins established a scholarship 11 years ago that enables students who graduate in the top 10% of their Dutchess County High School to attend this institution free of tuition and fees. More than 375 students have benefited from the scholarship, and the Conklin's now $2 million investment will ensure that there are resources to support motivated and gifted students at DCC for years to come. Charlie and Betty didn't do it for the recognition. They do it because they love our students and they wanted to help support our mission. Charlie is with us today. He's in the audience, and so please join me in thanking and recognizing his generosity. Diversity is also one of our core values because we believe that higher education has a moral imperative to foster an understanding of multiple cultures and an appreciation of the full range of individual differences within our society. It's more important than ever that our graduates are able to embrace the benefits of living and working in a diverse world. As educators, we are in a unique position to incorporate understanding throughout the curriculum, to model civil discourse in our classrooms, offices, and hallways, and to explore and celebrate differences, and to demonstrate effective conflict resolution. Therefore, we will continue to diversify our faculty and staff, invite international students to study with us, support travel abroad programs for our students, and build on the success of the lectures supported by the Handel Family Foundation. We will bring more speakers, programs, and resources to campus that enlighten and challenge us to think differently, as our county executive, Mark Molinaro, would say, so that we all feel more connected to and compassionate toward others. And that gives me a time to take some water. Another one of our core values is collaboration. Returning to an earlier theme in my remarks, no one does it alone. Collaboration is an essential element of successful organizations. I have been working to ensure that everyone has a voice and a stake in the success of Dutchess Community College. We will create and utilize decision-making processes that are transparent and genuinely inclusive, and in doing so, enhance organizational effectiveness and job satisfaction while we cultivate a positive campus climate. We are establishing and maintaining strategic community partnerships through which intellectual, social, and financial resources can be leveraged to meet the needs of Dutchess County. For example, we are partnering with the City of Poughkeepsie School District, along with Central Hudson Gas and Electric and the Chasen Companies and SUNY New Paltz on a local P-TECH program. Students in the P-TECH program earn both a high school diploma and an associate's degree within 6 years without any cost to their families, and they benefit from workplace mentors, internships, and job opportunities. We especially value our SUNY New Paltz connection, as it is the single most popular transfer school for our graduates, and their president, Don Christian, is here, and I thank you, Tom, for your collaboration. We are also looking to expand partnerships with other four-year institutions. We want to create more programs like Bridges to Excellence, which is designed to facilitate previously underprepared students transferred to and success at Marist College, the most popular private baccalaureate institution for DCC graduates. And we also collaborate with Vassar College. Just last month, a joint delegation of Dutchess Community College students and Vassar students joined thousands of others at the 2015 National Model United Nations in New York City. Our group, Dutchess Community College and Vassar, working side to side under the leadership of two of our Dutchess Community College faculty, won the Outstanding Delegation Award, as well as 7 Outstanding Position Paper Awards. Thank you, Cappy Hill, for being here too. We believe there also is unlimited potential for mutually beneficial partnerships with community-based organizations. By working with local agencies, we can offer the talents of our faculty, staff, and students, even the president, to meet community-identified needs and foster student engagement in applied learning settings. We plan to develop a center for civic and community engagement that will facilitate effective and sustainable relationships with a full range of community organizations. As a first step, we recently joined New York Campus Compact, an organization of college and university presidents committed to integrating student public service into the curriculum. The compact will assist us this summer to link the needs of community organizations with our curriculum and student learning outcomes. I know there are friends from several local nonprofits here. I'd like you to please stand. Would our community nonprofit organizations please stand? You will be hearing from us. Ultimately, every DCC student will have multiple opportunities to apply what they are learning in our classrooms to the broader community. Through service and applied learning, we will cultivate lifelong habits of civic engagement and volunteerism in our graduates. And finally, I'm sure you liked hearing that word. And finally, we chose accountability as one of our 5 institutional values to underscore our recognition that as a public institution, we have an obligation to be good stewards of scarce public resources. We must be tireless in our commitment to consistently improve outcomes for students and to do so with creativity and innovation. So you see, our institution will always be a college in the making, continuously striving to be a better community resource and asset. And guiding our decision-making and my leadership as president of the college will be our 4 core values. In closing, I'd like to share one of my most enduring first impressions of Dutchess Community College, and that is that it sits majestically on the top of a hill. Yeah, the people who laughed are the ones who walked up the steps. Well, this idea of it being at the top of the hill, it reminded me of the reflections of John Winthrop. He's a New England immigrant who, upon approaching the port city of Boston, where he and his fellow passengers intended to launch a new social compact and become a model for future settlements in the New World, Winthrop addressed his shipmates and said, "We shall be as a city upon a hill. The eyes of all people are upon us." Well, we welcome your eyes upon Dutchess Community College, and we hope you share our excitement about what's in the making here. And as you've heard earlier, this is our community, this is our college, this is our future, and I thank you for being here today.